give all of you a huge round of applause for all of the work that you did. Congratulations, everyone. You guys came with so much heart and excitement this weekend, and we are thrilled to see what you created together. We hope you all had a good time with us here at MIT, and we just want to thank everyone who is here today and all of our sponsors who allowed for this to happen. I especially want to thank Jenny Lee from Clinton, who was there. And so without further ado, let's get our first team up here. Our first team is Senza. Come on up.
How's it going, guys? So this over here is our team. We're Project Stanza. So the project has a really simple premise. The premise is, can we And we're like, yeah, we love poetry. And then we said, well, do you read poetry? And we're like, I know a couple of poems. So sort of the gist of it is that a lot of us are into the idea of poetry, but we're easily distracted, or we're just plain lazy maybe. And we don't want to put in the time to find good, interesting poetry. So then it begs to ask yourselves, what if there was a service, maybe something like Sangza or something like Pandora? What if, for poetry, for listening and reading poetry, what if that service could, with a few clicks, give you a curated, interesting playlist of poems? Yeah, so that's basically what our project is. Go to the next slide. So we'll do a live demo here. So right now, the minimal viable product you can see is basically you hit the website.
Roosters.
You choose one of
At 4 o'clock in the gunmetal blue dark, we hear the first crow of the first cock.
And what it does is actually
portrait of my lover as a dress.
A curated list of poems
Scream
that have been
like a dress, O Lord.
And we've actually done that
An
through some natural
unknown
language
girl
processing
with
and
crimson lips and legs like chicken.
Ceasefire. Put in mind of his own father and moved
maybe imagine
to tears.
Using
Achilles took him by the hand and pushed the
on.
old king gently away. But Priam curled.
A transparent evening. 2 or 3 backs settle against wicker and prepare to take in sunset. A man who knows balance
like, where do you
has
take
ordered
this?
that
This is kind of what we
precise
have
patch
working.
of sky.
Something that we really want to do is, right now we have some automation to actually do the tagging, so this might be able to scale. What if we let users create their own curated lists of their favorite poems? What if we even allow users to upload their own narrations of poetry? I think there's some really promising features that we could build on top of that. Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome, guys. So just want to see, we have time for one question. Anyone have a question? Yeah. Where did you get your audio recordings from?
Poetryarchive.org.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Great job. All right. Next up is browsing history.
Okay, alrighty. Hi, I'm Elsie.
I'm Paul.
And we're here to present browsing history. Browsing history. So how do you browse history in your web browser? There are all of these amazing library archives online, but you have to kind of decide that you want to go look at them in order to access them. So what we wanted to do was build a Chrome extension that enables access to these for some primary source research or primary source distraction, whatever your inclination may be. So we took advantage of the digital Public Libraries of America archives, and to do this, we use the API, and you load up the extension, and you can click any text on a page that you're looking at, and you can return a result from the API from these archives. So you can see here some fun example. You can also research any query that may be relevant to what you're looking for from a type ahead. Great. So let's say it's a rainy day here in Boston, and you're like, man, what I really wish I was doing was looking out across the Grand Canyon. So you can go up into browsing history, and you can look at some photos of the Grand Canyon. See here? And you can find one that suits your needs, and you can even go to the original page and check out the resource and do a little more reading about this. You can also share it out to your friends across Twitter and further provide access to this resource. You could even say, okay, Grand Canyon, what about the beach? I really wish I was at the beach right now. I can't believe winter is here. So you can find some nice pictures of the beach. All right, so let's say you're browsing the news and you want to shake things up a little bit, reading about the latest happenings. Alrighty, so what about drug? What can I learn here? All right, Pim's Cup, I'll take it. Scroll on down, and you've got some blood. Alrighty, so you can see there that you can access anything. Let's hop over to the Codex Poem page. Why did we make this? We made this because this is a community of readers. We love we're all partners in this enterprise, and we love the library. So again, this is Browsing History, brought to you by Paul and Elsie.
Thanks so much, Browsing History. Excellent, excellent. Next up, bringing out Lit City. Yeah.
Check 1, 2.
Here? Okay.
Next project. Live from the MIT Media Lab.
All right, everyone,
Very
welcome.
happy.
We are Lit City, and our goal is to change the way people discover literature and relate to their physical space. This is our very massive team, as you see us coming in that way. And we start off Anna Quindlen. Amelie, you can advance the slide. So this is our logo. And Lit City, at the moment, for the prototype for this particular hackathon, it's an in-browser app that you can try out. We'll show that a little bit later. Eventually, we hope to have it be its own standalone mobile application. So the way it starts is that you come to a city like Boston, you land and you open up the app, and it shows you kind of a beautiful quote from Boston. This one is Anna Quindlen. Other ones might be the Bostonians, other things like that. That just gets you in the mood to start thinking, okay, what is my literature journey? What is my destination here? Then you choose your mode, and we decided to have 3 different types of experiences that people could come through. An author mode, where you explore an author's work, that's someone that you really connect with or you like. The character mode, where you pick the path of a character in the literary work that you like. Or explorer mode, where you don't really know what's the particular flavor of this type of place, what kind of literature is produced, and you get to explore and see what's there. If you go into, say, author mode, you can look at all of the authors who have written or done work in the Boston area. And it'll produce you with a map and key quotes from the works to see if you're enticed, to see if you want to learn a little bit more. Now, part of the fun of this is the destination. And so we allow you to kind of go towards some of these actual sites while you're exploring and discovering this literature. If you have not arrived, we let you know. If you have arrived, you receive a cute little reward and a little bit of extra information about the destination that you're in. So for example, Malcolm X spent a lot of his formative years here in Boston and Roxbury area and the Dorchester area. And so looking at where that happens and where that comes from. Currently, we're looking at having an app with push notifications that'll let you know when you're close to good literature, when you're close to a historic site, and where else to direct your attention. And the technology behind it is actually fairly simple and fairly complex. You have the book that we ended up searching. We created a place extractor using Google Maps, and the quote reader or quote extractor using Goodreads and their APIs. We put together in a simple administrative interface in Django, and then out pops our map. And so let's go to the live demo. Here we are. So each of these areas is an area of interest. And if you click on one, what comes up is a quote from where that area is in Back Bay and other places that you can navigate to if you're interested in learning more about kind of like the literary traditions. Okay, and back to the slides, Amelie. Later, we realized that one of the transformative aspects of this project is kind of blending the literature worlds into these other things. So you have these foundational books like Sherlock Holmes that can be built into a foundational experience, right? Finding your way through Baker Street, finding your way through London, but also partnering with places that have already brought this to the screen and places that have optioned the rights to it, like Sherlock and BBC. So within Lit City, you know that the story does not have to end. You can still explore and you can still find a deeper way to engage in your favorite books. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Beautiful. Excellent job, Lit City. Thank you. All right, next up, we've got ourselves Infinite Library. Step on up. Here you are. Oh, sorry. Oh man, Lit City. So real. Okay.
Live
Infinite
from the MIT Media
Library.
Lab,
Take it away.
Infinite Library.
Okay. Infinite Library is all about problem solving a issue with Project Gutenberg that it still looks like it was from 1991. So we wanted to reskin everything that was content inside of Project Gutenberg with a reading experience app that can run natively in any environment that would be cloud-based. And we worked through a number of problem-solving issues, like how we would build a back-end. We wireframed all of the different website pages, and our ambitions were pretty tall.
So here's the, or I guess go go back to the basic thing. But basically, the page that was up for a while is the current state of the Gutenberg text, which is great. There's about 50,000 texts available for all to read, but it's just not put into a format that necessarily makes people want to read it. So basically our project is taking these pre-existing texts and just adding on the feature of readability. So if you'll go through. Next. So this is the proposed initial landing page with potentially the infinite library as we keep growing it. And next, please. And then this is a page of an individual book. So it gives you title, author, word count, and various other information about publication date and anything you might want. So I guess also within that, there are the options to either read it right then, which this is the reading screen, or you can add it to your library for later. And this is just some more of the proposed reading screen. And we have up at the corner in the normal thing is a little bookmark. So when you click to it, it gets you right to the table of contents. And then, this is just whatever. And then another feature that hopefully we'll add on later is linking up with Hypothesis, which will help create annotation ability and the ability to share those annotations and see globally what people annotate within those texts. So with the back end, now we'll switch over to Eric.
Okay. So the way this was built is, there's already 40,000 titles in Project Gutenberg. It's an amazing resource. It's been around for a long time. Unfortunately, like we were saying, it's not the most user-friendly format. So what we're doing is building an application that just, it's a static app. It runs entirely client-side using a JavaScript framework called Vue. But it just runs on your own computer. So you could run it anywhere. It'd be very easy to adapt to an app that could run on any device. So what we have here is you can just search directly. This is a prototype, but it's searching directly from GitHub. So this could potentially give you access to all 40,000 titles, 50,000 titles without doing a lot of additional work. So if you click one of the links here, then it goes directly into information. Again, this is pulled directly from the GitHub repository. And then if you click the book, you have the reading experience. So this is parsing a format called HTML book. So I think what's exciting to me about this is there's no server, there's no infrastructure really that's needed. This can live entirely in your pocket, but it could still give you access to, centuries worth of some of the greatest creations of human intelligence. So in the future, I think we could extend this further, beautify it, make it even more dynamic, and also add in other features like maybe converting from the web version into a print book, and then you'd have an infinite bookstore as well. So that's it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Infinite Library. Terrific. Next up, please welcome Reed Member. Step on up to our lovely markers.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Hey, we are Remember. We're a web app that wants to redefine how we experience reading articles on the web. A lot of the times people are reading hundreds of articles a week, and there's not a real good way to see what we've read and how to know the genre of what we've read and any information about this material. So we discovered that you can create a web extension that will easily track the information that you get from these websites and put it on a very beautiful website for all of your friends to see. This application, we use the Airtable database because that really made it so easy to track this data without having to set up a server. We did a little bit of drafting here, as you see in our design, and met most of the design goals. And so you'll be able to see a demonstration on that right now. Kel?
All right, so the main interface for this is shown up on the screen. We created like a profile page, and so you can see the other piece to this is the Chrome extension, and so the Chrome extension will populate all of the information under all activity. So every article that you read will import the title, the amount of like the percentage of the article that you actually have read, and the time that you spent on it. As opposed to a few other things that you can see, you can search through them. There's genre metadata and a few different like sorting options. But the coolest thing is right above that, which is the stats. And so that will take everything that you have read and kind of aggregate it together so that you can learn new things about what you're up to. So you can see the total number of things you've read, the total reading time, which for me is extremely low, it looks like. You can also see the percentage of articles that you actually complete as opposed to things that you just kind of click through. The like top source that you tend to visit often, and finally the top genre. So the top genre. Yeah, and in the future we were thinking that this would be really great for not only just yourself tracking what you're up to, but sharing it with your friends, viewing other people's profiles, following them, and getting personalized recommendations as well. So yeah, I think that's it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Reed Member. Terrific job. Very useful. We love it. All right, next up we have texting with authors. Come on down. Pass that microphone. Don't be shy.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Lauren Scott. I'm a game designer. And so, next slide. So we all know that when we were in high school and middle school, we had to read all these huge, like long, dense books. Oh, there's papers. Okay. And we didn't really completely absorb them because we didn't really understand the world or understand like the depth of like books like Fahrenheit 451, things like that. And so I was thinking, well, what might be some way that could help someone maybe further learn about the times and things like that. So the solution for that was fun for me because as a game designer, that's usually the first thing I go to. So, next slide. So that is what if you could talk to the favorite authors of your favorite books. And I was so excited about this idea that I inserted a typo right there. that I just caught like 2 minutes ago. And I should stress that this is like authors that are deceased right now, not actual real authors like typing, being creepery and stuff. So next slide. So this is going to be more of like a UX thing walkthrough. So enter a standard messaging like app. So you're kind of just walking along, you get a ping, oh hey, I have a new message from some mystery person. It looks like it's from London because that's what the extension looks like. So you click on it and you see that someone named Emily D mistakenly messaged you about her laundry, picking up her dry cleaning. You have a pre-populated list of responses that you can say back. So let's say we pick one that isn't so great. We fangirl it up, say, oh my God, did I just get a text from Emily Dickinson? Wow. So you send that to her, and this is an asynchronous experience, much like texting, so some time goes on, and then you get a text back, wow, awesome, let's check it out. So you click on it. I have no idea who you are, but I am blocking you. Blocked. So that's the end of that storyline for you. No more talking to Miss Dickinson, but you can still restart. And let's say you pick a better approach and you say something like, oh, I'm the one who should be sorry, as you sound like a quite charming and conscientious woman whom does not have any time for a chat. Unfortunately, I think you've dialed the wrong number. So you send that to her, and she replies back with a much more amicable response. And through this, you start creating a relationship with her and learning more about her, about the world that she lives in, about her work and her poetry. And the end goal is that you start amassing all of these texts from all these different authors. I think that other one down there was Hemingway. And as you go through different dialogue paths, you learn the motivations behind the author's works and poetry and stuff, and get more immersed in the world and in their minds. And here at the end, Emily Dickinson's on her deathbed dying of kidney failure, and she tells you the ultimate secret behind one of her poetries. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. That's so incredibly creative. I love it. Next up, we have Gutenberg's Labyrinth.
Hi, I'm Pavel, and Rochelle is helping me out on the keyboard as we wait for the slide to come up. Can you just flip to the video? Gutenberg's Labyrinth is a first-person 3D dungeon crawler. Yep. Imagine that you can walk through a book. Why don't you move forward a couple passages, Rochelle? So we're moving forward. Every room in this labyrinth is a sentence. You can keep moving forward until we get to a side passage. The walls are book cover art from the Recovering the Classics. And each dungeon, or labyrinth, I should say, is generated from text in the Gutenberg corpus. Let's keep moving forward. Okay, there we go. There's a side passage. But you can not only move forward and backward in the same book, thus reading an entire book, you can also go through side passages. So if you go sideways, it'll find connections between the book that you're on and the next book in the series. So they are, well, right now they're common subject matter in sentences. The point of the game is if you hit I right now, there is a list of words that you're meant to find. And the hope is that this is kind of a scavenger hunt. If you hit I again to hide the list, and keep going until you can find the sentence with and. Oh, there was one. Yeah, if you click on and, it'll up your score. The idea is, I'm hoping that, that people will, in order to win the game, explore books that they might not be familiar with and be able to navigate through different books and kind of make logical leaps. If somebody is looking at animals and they need to find like a tiger, maybe they'll start on a book about zoos and eventually end up on a book about African animals and win the game that way. So that's all I've got. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So much fun. Next up, oh, our cover design history.
Hi, everybody.
Step on up.
I will step to the yellow button. So our project, we started with the premise that book covers have no library. Book covers are often lost, they're discarded, so we wanted to create a visual library of book covers. And you can also, one of the neat things is you can browse these book covers over time. When implementing our Airtable database, or filling it rather, we realized that Dracula has changed quite a bit, the book cover, over time. Dracula used to be seen as a monster, and then by the 1920s, he became this really suave guy with a cape. And then in the 80s and 90s, we stopped seeing Dracula and started seeing a woman on the front cover. So part of the reason why we built this is because it's an amazing teaching tool. We have students who don't very much get into research libraries. This is a tool to get them there, and so we're going to be having, or I'm going to be having rather, students using this as part of my syllabus in the fall and a class on the history of book covers. We also have Catherine here to give you a short demo.
All right. So this is the website, which is almost live. At first, you can see the search bar, where you can enter a year, a publisher, an author, a designer, or a book. And if you can scroll, this is the result page. Once you've entered a book, it's a timeline, so you can go through the timeline, see the different versions of the book cover. And if you click on, let's say, Alvin Lustig, you would get to the timeline of Alvin Lustig, the designer. If you can go back to the home page. Yeah, so we want to put as much focus as possible on designers as well as publishers, again, and the classics, so we can understand design eras and history better through the evolution of book covers. And yeah, that's it. Beautiful. Oh, not yet. We're not done? We are done. Okay. Awesome. Also, awesome use of Timeline.js. Shout out to the Night Lab for that tool. Next up, we have Haiku Decks. Just give us back the mic. Oh, okay. Come on up.
All right, excellent. Hello. Oh, all right. Place your feet here. Okay, hi. Hello. I'm Chris. This is Nicole. Driving the laptop is Sam, and we created a project called Haiku Decks. How many of you used Git today? Push to GitHub? How many of you wrote commit messages today? And how many of your commit messages were kind of like, you're trying in the very beginning, and by the end you're like, ah, blah, blarg, merp, merp. Well, we kind of felt like commit messages should be more poetic, so we made Haiku Decks.
All right, so let's see how this works. Oh, okay. So, Sam, do you have the, it's not showing up. I can't see the, okay. Woo, okay, so now we're going to try and see how this works. So the first thing we're going to put in is something that's already a haiku. So this commit message is already a haiku refrigerator. And let's see what happens. Already a haiku refrigerator. And uh-oh.
Live coding, everybody.
Okay. Ooh, nothing happened. Oh, it says. Oh, it has the slashes.
Oh, yes. So you can see the
stanzas. Yeah, you can see now the stanzas. Now we're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to do a haiku that adds. It's called He's typing in added new feature for my car. And so let's see what happens. And now it reads, added new feature for my cold convertible peripatetic. And so what this does is it goes in and it, if we know that we need more syllables, we can substitute in like car for convertible. Now we're going to try something else. He's going to type in this weekend the Codex hackathon happened and we made a thing. Which still isn't quite a haiku yet. And so it did this swift weekend, the Codex hackathon happened, and we made a thing. So it added in an adjective swift. We checked to make sure that it would only add in adjectives before nouns. And now we're going to do something that's longer than a haiku. So he's going to type in, this weekend took our team to Codex, and we made a really buggy thing. And so it says, this weekend took our team to Codex and we made really buggy thing. So it gets rid of all the stop words like the, and just, you know, as a quick way, we made sure that those would be the first ones to go. And then the last thing is we have this other mode which turns on curses and makes things a little foul. So we typed in, I bought a great new hat. I bought a great new toad-spotted head protector, lewd logger headed.
So that's basically it. We are intending to release this for people to use with their commit messages. We'll probably throw together a little website. But yeah, you could use it in a lot of different situations for your text messages, on Twitter. So thank you guys very much, and I guess we'll post about it once we get it up.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Great job.
Okay.
Next we have Hippo Reader.
Hey everybody. Yesterday I pitched an idea that my son, 10-year-old, he likes to read the New York Times. So he wants to read the New York Times. But when I print out articles for him, he finds them a little bit too difficult to read. He wants to read about ISIS for some reason. He wants to read about the rockets that's going to space and what's going on. So to solve the problem of how to make complicated, difficult text easy to read and readable for young people and beginner readers, we came up with Hippo Reader. And Team Hippo, come on everybody, is a wonderful group of people with lots of different skills, back end, front end, and I'm proud to say that we created a product that's fully working, an iOS app as well as back end that you can hit right now.
So to talk a little bit more about the opportunity here, there's a vast sea of knowledge that exists. For example, Huffington Post publishes 1,000 articles per day. A place like Forbes, hundreds of really great articles every single day. So oftentimes a barrier to entry is difficult vocabulary in these articles. So if something has 3% of words are unknown, most readers get disengaged. This is especially true of children. So children oftentimes don't know the complicated vocabulary that we do. So with the Hippo Reader, this barrier is removed, and children can take these articles, take these complicated long-form reads, and turn it into something that's easily digestible. So how does it work? At a very high level, the proprietary Hippo engine takes these complicated vocabulary words and turns them into language that children can understand. So Doug will walk us through a demo of how exactly this works.
Great. So Ying is going to bring up Hippo Reader, and it's implemented as a Safari extension right now, which means that it can work on any page on the web. Roughly speaking, our technology is kind of divided into two halves: the front end and the back end, and there were about 4 of us working on each half. On the front end side, which is to say the code in the Safari extension, it actually takes the page and identifies boilerplate stuff and banner ads and such. discards all of that and just finds the core content that's on the page, and it then sends that content to what we call the Hippo Reader API. The Hippo Reader API takes this content, analyzes it for difficult words, and by difficult we mean words which are too rare or are unlikely to have been encountered by a child before based on their frequency in the language. It then tries to identify alternates for each difficult word, and in doing so, it tries to preserve the context as well as the part of speech and the conjugation of the verb. So there's a whole lot of NLP food that goes on behind the scenes, not all of which works really well right now, but as an example for what Ying is now highlighting, a case where we change the word endorsed, which is a complicated word, to the word backed, which is more likely to be understood by a child. And so, oh, sorry.
No, you can wrap up. That's
okay. Yeah, and then, so it does this for the whole document, and then again on the front end side, you have the option, this little slider at the bottom here lets you control basically what difficult means, what grade level you're filtering for. That's it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Excellent work. Great. Next up, Library for All. Oh, Library for All. Hello. You're right where you need to be.
So am I on? My name is Drew Podwall. I'm on the board of advisors for Library for All, and Cameron Moss, who's our lead programmer. We are a nonprofit, and I just want to take a moment just to talk about our organization. So we're looking for people like you guys to help us out. We have a solution that provides ebooks to third world countries. We're actively working in places like Haiti, Rwanda, Cambodia, Mongolia, and we're actively distributing ebooks as we speak right now in these countries, helping students to get access to books that they would not normally have access to, and helping to provide books to programs where they don't have books. So I just want to give Cameron the mic for a little bit to talk about what our solution is, what our end-to-end solution is, because it's really interesting, and I think you guys would like it.
Yeah, thank you. So again, Library for All, what we do is we bring ebooks to the developing world, basically, and we have an Android platform right now. We also use Raspberry Pis as our servers, and what allows us to do that is that we have our data distribution system is all based on Couchbase and CouchDB, which is a really powerful tool as a database. It basically allows us to have these servers anywhere in the world. If they get an internet connection, great, they download things, they upload user information. They also work offline, so just basically creates a hotspot and you connect, you can download the app, you can, through the portal on a device, basically if you open a browser, it'll open up a screen where you can download the app. You can also download the books from the app if you're connected to the hotspot. And CouchDB basically allows everything to work offline. So what's really great about Library for All is it's an offline first model, which you don't see a lot. And Couchbase really allows us to do that because they have a Couchlight and Pouch, which are databases on the device. So it's a syncing mechanism that allows the data to move when it can move, basically, if there's an internet connection. So where we could really use your help is if we're a very, very small development team, 2 people, and we want to push out a React Native app, and we want to use Couchbase. So if you're interested in React Native, if you're interested in Couchbase, you don't know anything about it, this would be a wonderful opportunity to learn. The best way to just to email me or actually find me on the Slack chat. I don't use Twitter. Cameron at libraryforall.org, or just find me on Slack, Cameron Moss. All right, thank you.
Excellent.
So just one last thing. The board of advisors at Library for All is made up like people like us here. So if you guys want to participate as an advisor, reach out to us because we're really looking for some great minds, and you guys are really smart. So
Thank you so much, Library for All. Excellent.
Hi everyone, I'm Will Papper and we are Glassnost. Glassnost is a censorship transparency site that allows any user to submit censorship in their home country. It also uses the Bitcoin blockchain to ensure that no one can secretly modify any results on our list of censored media and censored countries. So you can see that we are a censorship transparency site for the world, and our goal is to provide a simple web app that allows anyone to identify censorship. So this is vital because there are many statistics on censorship where it takes place in many countries. It's not just a few countries. It is many, many countries in the entire world. And Glassnost wants to identify these countries to ensure that the works do not disappear. So we have a web app that is available, and it can be used to, if you go to the web app, you can see the list of countries, and these are works that have been submitted by users identified as censored content. And if you also come across a censored work, you can add it and say, this work is censored in my country too. Alternatively, you can add a new work and say, hey, this work is being censored, everyone should know about it. And activists could respond by distributing literature in that country. There's also a map of censorship around the globe, so you can see where items are censored. And if you click on a particular work, you can see exactly where that work is censored in which countries. So the important part about this is that the Bitcoin blockchain makes us completely transparent. No government could approach us and say, you must remove this material, because all of our data is released to the public and then put on the blockchain. So if we were to try to be forced to remove anything, for example, or add in fake results, every single person would know about it. The blockchain allows us to have a distributed system where everyone can verify on their own whether an item whether the list they received is legitimate or not. And of course, Glassnost is completely open source and available on GitHub. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Apparently MIT is censoring you as well, but next up we have subtext.
All right, hi, I'm Franny Gady, and we are Subtext. And wanted to start with a question here. So show of hands, who has ever been reading something, found a concept or a word that you didn't fully understand, and were too lazy to take the time to look it up? Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So during our brainstorming session with Seamus, we identified a problem. The book stands alone. It exists separately from the rest of the internet. If you want to look something up, you have to interrupt your reading experience. But what if all the content was simply there, no searching required? So we wanted users to be immersed in the context of a book without being drowned. So context is intelligently generated and customizable, offering depth and context to the reading experience in an unobtrusive way. All right, so subtext allows a user, okay, so we're good. Now, I want to talk, next slide please, about our, and one more please. There we go. Hi, Charles. So allow me to introduce our model user here. He is Charles, and Charles is a voracious ebook reader. He's on his iPad checking out 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and is a lifelong learner, a citizen of the world, an educator, a world traveler. He likes trivia and has been known to fall down a Wikipedia hole on pretty regular occasion and appreciates good design and seeks it out. So let's go to the next slide, please. All right, so this is kind of a workflow and an example of how this will work. First, Charles will come to subtext and select a public domain text from our options coming from Project Gutenberg. And then subtext will run this text through a number of natural language processing APIs and return a list of interesting terms, people, places, vocabulary. These terms are ranked by relevancy, and irrelevant results are dropped out. The remainder of the terms are used to crawl content APIs, which I'll show you on the next page, and return content that provides context. So once Charles is in the system, he has the ability to save annotations to read later in case he doesn't want to interrupt himself now, and also flag any instances of our machine messing up. All right, so next slide. These are some of the content APIs that we're interested in pulling from. We want to be able to provide a large variety of context, text, multimedia, historical information, definitions, scholarly material, all kinds of stuff. So now let's just take a look at our demo site. Right. And here we're going to have Philip kind of click through and show you what's what. So this is the main page of the site, and these are some of the public domain texts that we have available. So let's go ahead and take a look at Phantom of the Opera. All right, so right now it's analyzing our text, sort of, and now it's coming up with our list of terms. The most relevant terms are up at the top, and the ones that are less relevant are dropped out. So we'll go ahead and hit next. And so now it's searching through our content APIs to dig up some interesting stuff. And then we end up here. So our text for Phantom of the Opera is on the left-hand side. And then if you click on the Paris Opera, which I think might be in the black screen there, it will pop up with some information about the Paris Opera. All right. So if we can go back to our slides very quickly. I know we're running very out of time. So I think we'll probably skip the rest of the slides and want to talk a little bit about roadmap, where we see this could go in the future.
So real quickly. So we're looking at targeting either publishers or researchers. It's a tool that could be used by publishers in their production workflow to take books from our backlist and churn it through and create compendiums, indexes, and glossaries. And then the free online model for researchers and students, teachers who are looking to create study guides and research data. So
Great.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Also, shout out Hullabaloo, great T-shirt, my neighborhood bookstore. Woo! All right, page turner, come on up. There you
go. Hello, my name's Gabe, and I am presenting. Well, we're actually all presenting on behalf of our good friend Paige, who you will meet in just a moment. If you go to back to the first slide real quick. If you go here now, you can experience our demo in just a moment, or you'll experience the failure of Heroku, one or the other, we'll see. Next slide. So if you're like me, you're blacked out on top like that every morning, but you're holding a phone up like this at the beginning of your commute. You're holding a phone up, and you're also wearing a backpack. You can see that, and you have a book in that backpack, but you don't remember it because you're on your phone. Let's go to the next slide. Skip that one. You open your phone, and this is the problem. Next slide. You've got a notification, and I want to say happy birthday to Josh, so I open the phone. Next slide. There's a bunch of notification. Let's see what my friend Alan sent me via text. It's a bunch of weird stuff. Next slide. Go back. Facebook, there's a bunch of notifications. Oh, here's an article about sharks. Click on that. Next one. Batman, all this stuff. Basically, none of these are books, right? And so I've already forgotten about the book in my backpack, and that's a huge problem. Books don't have notifications. They don't have click testers who are optimizing headlines for them. They don't have addicting apps that encourage you to read them. And so basically, they're not part of our daily habit loops. And we want to change that with the app we're calling Page Turner. And let's go to the next piece, which is the demo. Cool. So Page is right here. Paige is your friend on social media who's maybe a little annoying, but she likes to tweet a lot about books, so you still follow her, and she's going to send you compelling, optimized reminders to get off Twitter and start reading. So you would log in, and it logs you in. You choose the book that you want, Frankenstein, and then it gives you a nice timer. And every morning, although we're just going to do this right now, it's going to do something like this, and hopefully this works. And if you signed up at the beginning, you'll hopefully get one of these. Is it working? Cool. And if we go to the next tab, oh, look at the notifications. There's 3 of them up there. And let's see if we got one from Page. Click on the 3 new notifications button. Nope, the 3, yeah. Ah, did we not get one from Page yet? Oh, well, it might take a while. But if we go to Page's profile, you could see that she sent us a bunch of tweets. So, yeah, so that's it. So let's go back to the presentation. Oh, she just said a bunch of tweets. She's sending them all out. You can go to her profile and you'll see them, and hopefully you got some. So in the future, we want to do all kinds of different things. If you're interested in helping, especially like writing these tweets for some books to help people, that would be fantastic. And just a quick nod to the team at the very end. These people are the lovely people who helped. We did an amazing amount of work this weekend, and it was wonderful and lovely. And yeah, thank you very much.
Aw, team love. Great job. That's wonderful. Stepping up next, Team Binary, story creator. Here you are.
Hello, we are Team Binary. I'm Zijing, Binary 0, and right there is Jay is Binary 1. And what we make is called Story Creator. So the first question is, what is a story creator? It's a text game engine, or you can consider about it as a text editor, which can help you make your own interactive story, or you can transfer a book into a game. And what it sounds cool, but why we're making it? Because you see the traditional story is linear. You get one opening, one ending, one way to go from the beginning to the ending. But with a text game, it's different. You can get 100 different story, even you play the same game 100 times, and it makes like people like me who doesn't read as much as play, make it attractive for me to read a story, and for the author, make their lives easier as well. Because you see like, oh, should I make for this chapter? Should I let Jennifer dating with Justin, or should I, let her date with Bieber? It doesn't matter at all, because you can let the reader make the decision. You just need to write them all and make your own story through the games. And then we can show you the demonstration. Right here is our logo, Story Creator, and here is the main window. Right here you can see a blank area in the middle. It's the place you see how your story is structured. And it's empty right now because we haven't created anything. So you can see, okay, could you go back? Yeah, you can see right there is new, and can create a new chapter. You can see right here is the task. That's a chapter, and can move it or drag it, whatever you want to make your life easier, whatever. And then you click it. You can try to edit or write something about this chapter. And in order to save the time, we have. Could you go back? Yeah, we have already made a small story in advance. You can see we get a beginning right here. So we come to the bottom, and we then the next one is code X. We start to code and making our story creator, and then we get two things to do: either rest or have some food. And now you can see the rest. Could you go back? Don't be so fast. Yeah, just go back a little bit. Yeah, right here. Because you see, if you choose the food, go to read the food chapter, you can eventually lead to the ending. Come on, guys. But if you choose to rest, you don't have a link between the rest and the ending, but it doesn't matter because you can link them together by yourself. So you can hit adding and go to the ending, and we say go back to LA, and that's it. And for the middle part, that's where you want to write your story. And right now we get a whole story structured right here. And also you can see the border is all black right now. But if you make really a lot of chapters, you can probably want to characterize them, group them with the way you want. So we can by coloring them. As you see right now, we get blue, and the ending is another color, and codex maybe another color, and the chapter opening is another color. So we made these two all of the stuff is trying to let anybody who have a great story to tell but don't know anything about programming or don't know where to start, so they can use our tool to create their own story easily, and maybe can share with their friends and see what's going on on their weekend or something else. So any question? Okay, cool. Thank you. This is Team Binary. And
Excellent job. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Next up, Book Quest. Come on up. Just going to give a shout out to our All-Star Code participants.
Hey guys, we're Book Quest. I'm Austin. That's Brian. Wave. Be nice. And that's Chris. And this is Book Quest. So if you think about books, are really writing, the whole point was to convey information. And another medium that does it very well is map. So the two have had a very intimate relationship. Think about the journals of Marco Polo or Lord of the Rings. One of the first things you see when you open those books are maps. So we thought, how can we bring the same experience to web books? All right, next slide, please. So we use the Dandelion API to do named entity recognition with natural language processing, and we use Google Maps to plot locations. All right, head to the demo. All right, so let's say you're reading an article about somebody who travels the world. You put the link in there, you submit, you wait for a pop-up to say done. Sometimes it takes a while. It's not a very efficient API. Oh, come on. Oh, I guess it finished. And here you can see all of the places that were mentioned in that post are pinned, and then they are all connected. So you can sort of see, oh, so this is the adventure this guy went on. And then if you click continue, you'll see every place that the location was mentioned in the article, as well as where the location is. And if you want to explore the surrounding area, you can use Street View. And see what the author saw. So it is sort of like, that the first map in Lord of the Rings. You're like, I can be the author. I can see what they had to deal with. So you can use this for short articles, or you can try a longer form book like Heart of Darkness, pulled off of Gutenberg before I shut everybody off from the network. Uh, it takes a little longer the longer the text is, but you'll get the same results eventually. But there's some weird bugs, like the Dandelion API thinks that trousers are a place. You might you might see that here, but we'll see. All right, is it still? All right. Okay, maybe we can wait a little bit. Please. I only broke something once. Not gonna happen? All right. I guess, well, that's it. That's Book Quest.
Great job. Thanks so much. Yeah, go ahead. We're still hopeful. Next up, we have book playlists. Books and music go together like
Hi, I'm Mark. I wanted to explore the intersection of books and music this weekend. There's just a million different ways that books and music are interrelated. Maybe we can just jump on the next slide. You know, everything from an author talking about the music that inspired them, to the soundtrack for a movie that was made about the book, to the music that I really like for some particular book. And I have a lot of music playlists that I've made for books that I like. So if we could jump on to the next slide, you know, here's kind of a jumping off point for this. Vu Tran wrote an interesting literary thriller called Dragonfish, and City Lights Bookstore in San Francisco interviewed him, and one of their questions was, if your book had a soundtrack, what would it be? And so with that as my jumping off point, I'm going to disappear from the camera and head over to my computer. And Dragonfish is hiding a little bit behind the screen, but here are a list of books that I've built soundtracks for. So this is a collaborative environment where people can build playlists for books. So here's Dragonfish, and in fact, here are the articles that are the songs that he mentioned in his program. That's probably going to do a lot of bad feedback, so I'm not going to play it, but my original inspiration for this is, if I can recommend a little bit of a science fiction book, it's actually set in the dawn of the jazz age. And this author did a lot of research about jazz, and littered throughout this book are references to some of the very early formative jazz pieces. And I didn't know anything about jazz. I liked the book, and so I started reading, and I thought to myself, I want to start to explore this. So I went through the book and picked out all the songs and built a playlist for it. And there's all kinds of interesting pieces of music that I found as a result of that. And so this is live, so if I wanted to add some music to this, I could. So Stairway to Heaven does not belong in this, but I'm going to add it in anyway. And there it is. What's that? Or maybe I want to go to The Highway to Hell, and I can add that too. So that's it. It's not live yet, but I'm actually hoping to push this up. It's almost completely working. I'm hoping to push it up live so you can go build a playlist and share some music with your friends. So anybody can join and add music to the playlist for the book.
Very cool. Book playlist. Excellent job. Music playlists for your reading. Next up, we have Down the Rabbit Hole.
Hello.
Hey. Take us down the rabbit hole.
Hi, I'm Joseph. This is Daniel and Amy, and we created Down the Rabbit Hole. The idea was to create a platform to turn books into games. In this case, a fun little 2D side scroller like the kind many of us grew up on. You can explore the text and sort of experience it more visually, and you can start with any text you want. In this case, we used Alice in Wonderland, but you can convert any text into it. You can use it to add a little something to your reading experience, or perhaps to teach children to get more excited about reading. And one of the nice things about Down the Rabbit Hole is that it's not just static old text, or that it is static, but it's more than just plain text. The visuals reflect the style of the book and the tone of the writing, which Daniel will explain a bit more about.
Yeah, so as we fly along here, you can see some different colors and some different fonts. And so there's kind of a rudimentary sentiment analysis going on behind the scenes that says, oh, Alice is happy right now, or oh, she's sad because she's tiny and because she ate the cake. So the text will change size. It might have a sad font, a happy font. The colors will change as well. Pink here in particular is happy. Yeah, and that's pretty much how it works.
We are also in the process of adding to make it a little more, to make it a little bit more gamey, kind of a progress bar that lets you track how many phrases you've read and just make it a little bit more of a fun experience. Still in the works. Thanks.
Very cool. Thank you so much. Awesome job. What a lot of fun. Yeah, awesome. Next up, we have replace the text. Replace the characters, excuse me.
Hi, okay, so we did replace the character, which is pretty much exactly what we had pitched yesterday. And I'll run you guys through the little mock-up really quickly, and then we'll show you how far we got. So next. So yeah, it would ideally be a web app, which we've half built, but it works fine on the back end. You pick a book, and it'll automatically show you who the 5 most frequently mentioned characters are, and then you can type in the names of the people that you want to replace those characters with, rename the book if you want to, and that's your creation, starring your friends as those 5 characters. And then you can generate the book, and you can email it to your friends, or you can get it printed using the Espresso book machine.
Sure. So, like Jihi said, we got it half built. Here is what we have now as our front page that says replace the characters in your favorite book. So let's take a look at the books that we have curated in our collection here. We've got some Macbeth, we've got some Kama Sutra, we've got Alice in Wonderland. Maybe let's try the King James Bible, the very last one there. Okay, here is where we got stuck. But I'm going to ask Krishna to take us to the script that's working on the back end. By the way, shout out to Lenny, Luke, and Sam for helping us out with getting Flask set up. All right, so let us run this script and see what's happening. Maybe let's make it a little bit skinnier so we can see it behind that black box. So what this script is doing now is it's looking through the text of the Bible, and it's doing named entity recognition to pull out the top 5 person names, or what it thinks is person names, right? So it's going to ask us, we have the option to rename the book. Now's the time for some audience participation. What should we rename the Bible? Also, sorry in advance. Okay, all right. The audience response was, let's rename it Your Mom. But maybe that can be God? Okay, yeah. A new name for Adam. Ryan. Oh, that's so sweet. How about James? Lenny. And how about, oh, Bible again? Voldemort, please. And the last one, Ye. Y'all. Oh, I like that. Yeah. The King Billy Joe version. All right. So, Codex book featuring your mom as God, Ryan as Adam, Lenny as James, Voldemort as Bible, and Yah as Ye. All right. So, let's open codexbook.txt. That just created a text file with all those names replaced. So here is where the magic of this web app is happening. If you do a simple find and replace, you can take a look at your brand new text. This is sort of the same excitement that you get from Mad Libs, right? In the beginning, your mom created the heaven and the earth. And your mom said, let there be light. And there was light.
That would be a great gift idea. Next up, we have Lesson More. Step on up.
Hey, I'm Luke, and this is my friend Vig, and we built a hyper simple, very small project called Less and More. Can you hit the next slide, Vig? It's really straightforward. It takes text, makes it less like some things and more like some other things. So everyone's kind of a cook when it comes to literature, but not everyone is really a talented author. And so we wanted to kind of make it easier for you to criticize a book and then implement those changes. I really like Moby Dick, but Vig reads a lot of fantasy novels and a lot about dragons and magic. So he maybe likes Moby Dick, but he would like it better if it were less about whales and more about dragons. So here's a little excerpt. We said, chief among these motives was the overwhelming idea of the great whale himself. Changed to the fantasies was the overwhelming fairy tale of the terrific dragon. And it roused all my fantasy. Another funny one we did, the Communist Manifesto. We made it less about communism and more about music. We felt like that was a little more hip and modern. Instead of the communist allies and the bourgeoisie, we have the musician's tune. And my favorite part of this is traditionally handed down from the Great Revolution between the Revolution Supernova, which is a version of Dance Dance Revolution. So how the heck does this thing work? So it's written in Python. The word model itself is using something called word2vec, which is a popular analogy model with an implementation from Genzyme and the weights from a big model train on Google News. And we used a library called Pattern to kind of rein it in and make it grammatically make sense. This is like a 2-second on word2vec. Basically, it takes words and finds a good numeric placement for them, so that it preserves the relationships between those words, so that maybe if I have the word king and I want to make it less like man and more like woman, that will change it to queen. And we have a quick demo. Oh, wow. Speaking of censorship, do you want to screw? Okay, sweet. So Vig's going to write us a nice little story. So what is it? The dude likes baseball. Great. A lot of feeling. But I'm someone who really prefers a female protagonist, so we're going to make it less like boy and more like girl. And it takes a second to load here. The gal likes softball. So I know. It's unfortunate. But we tried this on some larger stuff, which takes a little longer. So this is an article we saw earlier. And we wanted it less about drugs and more about candy, because it's a little more family friendly. So some favorite parts. He had begun to grow Starburst candy and peppermint sticks because there's no other ways for his impoverished family to Milky Ways. I supply more heroin, homemade fudge, cocaine, and marijuana than anybody else in the globe. So unfortunately, this isn't live right now, but we hope that it will be soon. Yeah.
When people clap during your demo, I think it's a winner.
Oh.
Great job. Thank you so much. Less and more. Terrific job. All right. Stories to Life is next up. We're in the home stretch. So many terrific projects today. You guys are blowing us away. It's really cool. Even with the censorship by MIT. Come on up. Should be on.
Hi, we are Stories for Life, Stories to Life. The concept was really simple. We wanted to do something that will make book reading a very pleasant experience for kids. One problem that a lot of us face is the initial interest building for kids to pick up any book and read. But then if we were to take any book and convert it into a cartoon, which a kid enjoys, probably that's good enough hype for a person to pick up a book and build this habit of reading. So that's the concept behind this. Before we begin, let's switch back. Wait one, let it come up. It's just waiting for the site to come up. No, you need to show that. Okay. So what we have done is we wanted to get in this classic rhyme of Jack and Jill went up the hill, but this time not to fetch a bucket of water, but then they ended up at Codex, and we
Tell
got
us
a
a little
store.
bit about how you made it.
Yeah, so I'll explain it in this. So now that we have it, I'll just go through the details a little later. Can we click on anything, please?
Did you hear about the Codex Hackathon happening at Cambridge?
Yes, I did. I heard there are some cool hacks being developed there.
Yes. I heard of this hack called Stories to Life. They can create animations automatically from stories. Why aren't you speaking, Jill?
I am just spellbound.
Ha ha. Let me explain how that works.
I am interested. Keep talking.
They take any story in textual format, do some natural language processing algorithms which we still don't understand, and generate a cartoon.
Well, if you don't understand the algorithms, why are you still talking? Let people who know explain.
Let's go back to the slides. So yeah, so we are here to explain how we did this. It's really simple. So what did we just see? A simple concept, take any text and convert it into animations. But really, is that so simple? Not really. We just realized it over the weekend that it's not that simple. But what are the ingredients to get this thing done? So we chose the classic NLP, which doesn't really work perfectly, but then it is working to some extent. Found out essential details out of it, like who are the characters, what are the characters described in the book as, what is the storyline, what are the dialogues that the characters say, and then basically animated it to bring an animation out of it. So let's see the process of getting this done. It's pretty simple. I'd like to go back to. Okay, so let me just create a new story here. Yeah. So I give the story any title. So let's do Jack and Jill again at Codex. Choose a file. So jackandjill.pdf. So that's a basic file which has all the details, and then I create a story. It takes a minute or so, and then we have these things figured out. So now the text is in such a way that we could actually, there are a few hacks done here so that we could actually get all this information, and once you click on animate, you see whatever you saw earlier. So that's it. That's ingredients. Let's switch back to slides. So it's a sense of accomplishment, right? So we have done something which we could, but then once we realize it, next slide, it's still just work in progress. There's a lot that could be done. It's amazing, as in, but what's exciting about this is the possibilities that this opens up. Think of a kid who hates these chemistry experiments, physics experiments, and a favorite character coming in and explaining that to him. Think of teasers for books. The possibilities are endless, but we are really thankful. Next slide. Yeah, it's been a great hackathon. Thank you for the opportunity. And I'd like to introduce my team. It's Eugene and Ben who could get this thing done. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you so much. Yes, in fact, that is representative of what it's like to be at a hackathon. Next up, we have Borderless Fic. Come on up. Yeah, how many of you felt like that last GIF? Take it away.
Okay, hi, I'm Yue, and over there is True. Our project is called Borderless Fic, and it is an online platform that combines posting your own stories and translating the works of others. As international students who enjoy reading works from different cultures and also writing stories and posting them online, we are aware of the language barrier between online writers whose works are rarely have the chance of being translated. So we came up with Borderless Fic to build a platform for writers and translators to collaborate and share their works to people around the world. Our website is not fully developed, but we can show you that demo. So right here we have the sign in page, and we can sign in with an email. After we sign in, we go to the dashboard, which we haven't implemented fully yet. We plan for the dashboard to show comments and notifications. And in the post tab, we can create posts and we can see the posts that we have posted. Also, if you are you know multiple languages, you can also translate your own posts. Article. So on your left, you can see the original post, and on the right, you have the editor where you can write your translations. When we click on the home, we can see all the posts that is posted on the website, and you can see the writers, and also some tabs and what kind of some tabs if it has tabs. On the right, we have a filter bar where we can check some choices and select the articles that we want to read. For example, if we check Chinese, it will filter out the Chinese posts. And when we click read more, we can read more about the posts, and also you can click on translate and translate that post. So that's almost about all we did. And we can also register, and when we register, we can also choose preferences like languages and genres and fandoms and stuff like that. And after you choose your preference, when you sign in, the homepage will automatically filter out all the posts that according to your preferences. That's it. Thank you.
Awesome job. Thank you so much. Incredibly useful. Translate your books into multiple languages. Next up, we have Right Now. Right Now.
Hi. So I spent a hackathon exploring kind of a simple idea and some problems I've been thinking about lately. The start of this idea was that I really like newsletters, and I read a lot of email newsletters. And I really like how personal they feel. They're written to probably and sent to probably 1,000, 10,000 people, but they still feel really personal, and I feel like a lot of that has to do with it being an email and it being in context where I can respond with the click of a button, and really, I feel like I'm being written to rather than being written for, in the case of like reading a news article or something. And the other thing is that I feel like I was asking myself why I'm not reading as much books and why I'm not writing as much. But the truth is I am reading and writing probably more than I ever have. I'm writing emails, tweets, status updates, whatever. And I'm reading articles, emails, but it lacks a certain weight to it. And like you don't hold on to a lot of the emails and really revisit them and show them to your kids. That's okay. So my idea is the backwards newsletter. I want to be sent a prompt, a writing prompt, and then shoot off an email and reply, maybe on my commute, or when I wake up, or when I have some free time. And then that stays very private and very personal, but then I'm doing it in the sense of a larger group and getting to see everyone's responses after the fact. And so when you reply to the prompt, it gets eaten up by the web machine, and then it collates it and archives it on the website. And then you can go see and read everyone's prompts in all in one place, all together. Simple little toy, but I hope it will be fun. And it's not done yet, but you can go to writenow.email, WRITE, and submit an email, and I'll tell you about it when it is finished. Thanks.
Fun. Thank you.
I think
Newsletters are the new hotness. All right, next up we have Rebook. Rebook?
You got it.
Clever.
So, we were part of the group yesterday that was working largely on what is the thing about ebooks that we don't like as much. What is it that's different from a physical book that really sets it apart? And, you know, is the reason that we keep reading real books. And the direction we decided to go in was looking at annotations and the fact that with older books, with a used book sometimes, you pick something up and you have the character of having someone else has read it, someone has written notes or doodled in the margins, and it has a real feeling of history and personality to it. So the idea we have is to bring that same thing to ebooks and make it possible for you to mark something up and then share that, have you reading an ebook that has been previously read by someone else, marked up, doodled in, all that good stuff, and you really feel like it's a connection you're forming as well with someone else. And I can take a question. Or, yeah?
And on the technical side, so this is live right now, and you can. What? Oh, so on the technical side, the way this is done, part of the part that I thought was really interesting about it was we actually have our own little kind of silly file format for this, so that you can actually, if you click the download button over there at the top, it'll download a little silly thing I'm calling APUB for annotated EPUB, and it stores within that file the entire history of everybody who has previously written in that copy of the book. So it's treating books as sort of individual instances and individual items. So.
That's awesome. So you're like literally bringing scribbling in the margins to the web. Amazing. Excellent job, you guys. Thank you so much. All right, next up we have Plot Plots.
Hey everyone, I'm Anna. I spent the hackathon working on a kind of small, simple idea that I've decided to call Plot Plots. So small that there's only one slide, so you don't have to pay attention that long. But we've all read novels that have more than one plot, many characters spanning multiple plot lines, and I thought it would be fun to visualize it in one plot line. So separate a book into buckets and assign each bucket of maybe 500 words a plot that it's. So if we can click the next slide. All right, so this was supposed to be a video. For this I used Python turtle to draw out all these little squares, but the idea is that you would input text. So, oh, there we go, there's the video. Okay, so Turtle's gonna draw all these little squares. What you're seeing is the novel Infinite Jest visualized as 4 colors, because there are 4 main plot lines in this book. And the beginning is where each bucket is about, I don't know, I think it's 10,000 words. The next one, each bucket is about 600 words. So there are many smaller buckets, and it takes a while to go through, but you'll see that it gets a lot more clarity in what's going on. So if we click again, oh, no, it's just going to repeat. All right, well, okay, so you can imagine that there are lines with many different colors, and the idea is that you'd enter text, then Plot Plots would say, all right, here are the proper nouns I found. Which plot do these proper nouns work with? And then it draws you a little line. So you can see how those plot lines are spaced in the novel and getting a good idea of how they interplay throughout the whole thing. Thank you.
Great. Plot Plots. Thank you so much. All right, Abstractify, come on up. There you go, right there.
Hello, we are Abstractify. I'm Ross, this is Christopher, Zoel, and Vlad who have helped us do this. Imagine you are a small-town academic living in a lonely world and you wish to take the midnight train to, well, almost anywhere. Where we're defining that is you want to find articles of interest that are outside your field that you might not otherwise find. So next slide. Imagine, oh sorry, previous slide. Imagine you could just take an abstract for an article, drop it into a snazzy website like this, click submit, next slide, and have a list of articles that you would never have thought to come up with show up here for your reading pleasure. So We spent a lot of time doing this, and we got something barely working about 1 minute before the deadline, which partially explains our not ideal PowerPoint presentation. Next slide. But imagine, can't even read that because of the censorship, we had a philosophy article that had something to do with evolution and entropy, and we were to drop that into the box that we have there. So using various machine learning techniques, we were able to do things like k-means and vectorization. We were to take a corpus of, go ahead and go to the next slide, about 2,000 articles from archive.org, which is mainly stuff in computer science, math, and physics. And we took the 8 most popular categories in the last year or so. We found clusters of topics within those categories, and we were able to figure out which articles in those categories were most like the philosophy article that we started with. And some of the results of self-similarity, I believe, by natural time analysis. I don't know what that is. Maybe you'd find that interesting. And next. We have an article in astrophysics, which again I don't understand, and one more. One in mathematics, which is about infinite divisibility, which that is in fact near and dear to my heart. Maybe not to yours. That's okay. So there's a lot of work to be done with this. It is completely conceptual at this point. It is likely none of these have any bearing whatsoever on the philosopher under question, but at least it's a place to start.
All right. Thank you. Okay, we've got 2 more presentations. They've all been very exciting. Gavel is up next. Bring it on up.
Hey.
There you go.
Hey guys, my name is Joe. This is Josh and Sebastian, and the app we're presenting today is Gavel. So it began with a kind of novel idea, essentially being that you could, in fact, actually judge a book by its cover. So simply, you take a picture of the cover of any book, it does a reverse image search on that, and tries to identify as much information about that book as it can. So we're going to demo it for you right now. So as a history major, you'll understand my choice of books here. But this is something that we envision, a lot of people actually being able to get use out of, whether you're in the library or a bookstore, and you just want to see, in a moment, you'll actually see what it pulls up. You'll see reviews. We pull from Goodreads and also, where applicable, the New York Times API, where that review is existent. And it will also, if it can, pull the Amazon star rating, the title, the author, and the actual cover. It's just going to take a second here to propagate, I guess.
These things always take patience.
Yep. So I guess if you want to know the magic behind it, basically we're using a ton of technologies. For example, we're using material for our front ends to make it look really pretty. Yep. So you can see all your reviews for any books that you pick up off the shelf. You just take a picture, and you can get ratings. If it has a New York Times review, you can actually get that. We pull it from the API.
Yeah, so there's another one where we can...
So we can actually also determine the New York Times review. So we pull any articles written about it, and we'll demonstrate that.
Yeah, so if it's extant, you take a picture, and it checks against the New York Times API. And you didn't see it on the last one because there wasn't one for this book. But on this book there is. And hopefully you get to see it here. But it will present a button that says go to New York Times website, and it will just pull that review right up. screen will kindly catch up with the phone.
Yeah, our the AirDroid system we're using to display it is a little laggy, but if you could see this, we have the New York Times review and all the other reviews. All you have to do is click the New York Times, and it'll bring you straight to the review of that book.
Excellent. Congratulations. And great use of the New York Times Books API. Awesome job. Thanks so much. And last but not least, Project Jardin.
So hi, I'm Justin, and I'm from Project Jardin. So we focused on a medium that all of us use pretty much daily to interact with people we love, our friends, our family, and things like that. And we're leveraging that emotion, leveraging that connection, and we're turning it into an awesome storytelling medium. So what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about text. This is our desired outcome. That's not our desired outcome. Okay, this will soon be our desired. That's it. That's exactly it. Yeah. Okay, so what we have right now is not a conversation with a real person, but a fictional character. This is a scheduled series of SMSs designed to make you feel engaged and to tell you a story. So this is our idea. This is a new format for storytelling. And yeah, it's great.
So one of the things that's really important to us was that our users be content creators in addition to content consumers. So we wanted to create a platform basically where people could go on as a user and seamlessly go back and forth between reading stories and consuming stories, but also writing their own branching stories. So to display that, I'm going to pass it on to Lily and Kat.
All right, so to create a story, we start by giving it a title. We're going to call this one Kat Learns How to Type. And it's about going to typing school. So we'll begin by saying Kat goes to school. And this is a straight shot to the next part of the story. So we'll create that step. This takes us to the next step. And for this step, we're going to write, oh no, Kat spilled her juice on her friend. And we're going to make it a branched. We're going to give the user two options at this point to choose what they want to do. The story option 1 will be apologize, and option 2 will be laugh. So I think we're gonna probably apologize. I don't know. What do you think we should do? Okay, apologize. That sounds like a good thing to do. So in this way, we can create a really robust story with lots of branches. And yeah, if we go back to our home and click play a story, you can see a whole bunch of test stories we created. Yeah, so we're going to play Sunny Day really quickly. And that sends a message over to, wait, shouldn't that? Is it working? Oh, it's not working? All right. Me, sorry. Yeah, I'm talking. Anyway, it works. Just believe us.
Yeah, so one more element we forgot to talk about is that you can have delays between the text messages, and this is pretty cool because as an author, you get to more fully control the reader's perspective, the reader's experience. And you get to make them feel like, oh, okay, this person doesn't want to talk to me for a while because I said something bad or something like that. Yeah, so please believe us, that totally worked on the phone. That's all.
Great, thank you. All right, you guys, thank you so much. A huge round of applause to all of these incredible projects today, this weekend. Just such creative, inspiring, and incredibly useful work. I can't wait to play with so many of these tools that you guys have created. Just a reminder for those of you that haven't, please make sure to post on Hackdash so that we can brag about all of the awesome that you did this weekend. Do we have a...
How many people are flying out tonight and heading to the airport? Yeah, did you see that? I think there's the reports back from other Twitter, other Codex people that there's a light to the airport that may have broken. There's traffic to the airport. But are most people traveling? Let's put it this way: who's traveling out tonight in general? Who's traveling out by plane? All right, doesn't matter. All right, or there's a hand. Okay, no, there are people over there. Okay, sorry.
So you that are flying out by plane, give yourself extra time to get to the airport.
Okay, I think that's it. What else? Group picture. Oh, we're selfieing. Yeah.
Okay. Just a couple of things. Before we start, could I ask all of the organizers of Codex to just raise your hand, stand up, join us at the front if you'd like. I just want to give all of these people, there was a giant team that pulled this all together. Lots of people worked behind the scenes, sometimes for months, sometimes all weekend, and I just want to give them a round of applause and a big thank you for donating their time. Great job, you guys. Awesome job. Did you guys have fun this weekend? All right. Okay, good. That's what we want to hear. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, and so we want to make sure
place. Have you guys been to hacking journalism before? All right, well, we take giant group selfies. So everyone please stand up and move over this way. Just walk over. You don't have to shake your shoulders or do the swimming move anymore. And while you guys are moving over, crowding because the screen can only capture so much, Matt is going to give some instructions about how we're going to put this room back together.
So this is the commercial break actually. So basically,
keep coming.
When we're
Keep
while
coming.
Lenny is pulling everyone together. After we're done taking our picture and after everything else is done, I'm going to need a little bit of help putting the rooms back together. So if everyone could just pick up some trash, throw it out, that'd be great. Also in the civic room, which is the one down there that was kind of disassembled, I'm going to need some bodies to help move heavy tables back. It'll take 5 minutes if we have enough people, but I will need some help.
All right, squeeze in this way.
and yeah, everyone squeeze in. Lenny's going to take the selfie from where he is.
All right, Daza, do you want to be in the picture or not?
A lot of fun.
Keep going, squeeze.
Yeah.
You guys have been here all weekend. You can totally get closer. All right, so we're not even going to take a selfie. We're going to make a GIF. Yeah. It's going to get even crazier. So keep going, keep squeezing. Just sardine yourselves. I can't capture everybody. All right, so I think we should get the AV guy in here. AV guy, you should go, please join the picture. I'm safe. All right, are you guys ready? 3, so do something repeatable. 3, 2, 1, yay! All right, thank you so much. So.
So if you would like to sign our commemorative registration page, please do. We hope all of you enjoyed this weekend. Tweet at us. We thank you so much.
Cleanup is important if we want to be invited back to the MIT Media Lab. So please do your part to help us. Thank you.
Thanks so much, everyone. Have a good night.
All right, so if and it's not yours, you should pick it up. Even if it is yours, you should pick it up. Try to grab a lot more trash than you made and to put in the trash bins, which are by the stairs or by the food. If you can look at the floor to see if there's any weird things on the ground. And then if you can carry things and are strong, please head to the back by the area where the design sessions were held on the 3rd floor. Austin. Austin, can you get all your guys and head to the back?
So we.
Her love is running out. Her love is running. Her love is running. Her love is running out. Her love is running. Running, running out. I remember when I saw you cry. Like a waterfall, you carried me away. We just
Also, there's still more books left, so if you want
All
another
right.
book, go
So
grab
there's still more
one.
books. So here we are with
Don't leave those books on the
Gabrielle right here,
table.
and we're doing a little bit of wind up here. We'll say hello to the organizers in a moment. And actually, hey Gabby, could I trouble you to grab a microphone and actually I'll just do it myself. So we're going into side room of the media lab now, coming through to get a microphone and a cord with which we will interview some of the organizers. It was a good hackathon. There's a lot of great projects. A lot of people have a lot to be proud of, I think. So here we go. We're looking for some a microphone and not that kind though. Microphone and a cord. So probably, yep, these two are good. What can you hold on to those? And you know the best thing, do you mind giving people a quick tour of the Hackable Projects gallery while I get the microphones? So here's what happened here in the back room that Gabby and I did. Mostly Gabby, actually, who's a well, here we go, person who has come to Code for America, and we are collaborating now, I'm happy to say, on some great projects. We put together an open innovation gallery for these projects and for others. And so let's take a look at how that was put together while I get a mic. So Gabby, this is the, if you want, we can use this as a second camera. And we can just sort of move the stuff back and we can just point it right at your screen since it's not online yet, I guess. Here we go. So if you kind of put your screen here-ish, that's one easy way to do it. And here's the camera. Okay, so great. I'll go to that camera now. There we go. So we'll see Gabby's screen in a moment. Or, you know what, we can also do it like this. There we go. Put it right like that so you don't have to go through backflips. Okay. So like that. So you can maybe just, you can literally just explain to people, like here, this is the, whoa, sorry. You can basically put it on the camera and say what's going on. Here we go. Here's the helicopter pilot. That's not quite right. That.
Is this live?
And it's live.
Okay. Cool.
So what are we seeing?
So right now we're seeing an empty projects gallery, and that's what we have right now. Because uh, the projects were registered somewhere else. But basically, we created nice screen to register all the projects that we have seen now, and we want to aggregate all of them. so that we have a history of all the cool open projects that exist out there. So we're just going to join them all here. So today in the Codex hack, all those projects, if the authors want them to be there, they're going to be there. And also in the Napkins to Launch course, also by Professor Daza. All the projects are going to be available, and they're going to be available here in project gallery. So hopefully when you look at them, you can just click and see demos and info and contact the people who have done those projects and collaborate with them. So. So this is the cool device that Professor Daza used to film all of it. So.
And did you do it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try
I
it again.
guess.
Take
Cool.
these. I'll take this. Here we go, everybody. We're on the move. The MIT Media Lab, just about to, whoa, head back. Could you hold this up for a sec? Okay. Back out to have a few words with the organizers of this fine event. You're probably wondering, what on earth are you doing, Daz? I'll show you. Here we go. So just put the harness on, and we're about to literally attach it to this table that you are on through the intermediation of a laptop. So let's take a walk. Here we go. Can you grab the door? Okay, I'm right behind you. Thanks. Okay. And how's the audio on this? Let's find out. Audio on this is pretty good, I think. Not bad at all. Is it bad? Is it good? Let's find out. It may not be that good, actually. Actually, it's not bad. Okay, good. Good audio. Good. So let's talk to the organizers. We'll take a look out here. Yeah, there's a lot going on. People cleaning up, having a good time, getting the emails of their new friends, learning about projects, getting creative. That post-hackathon warm creative feeling, making new friends, learning stuff. Hackathons at the MIT Media Lab. Super fantastic. Okay, Mr. Organizer, you ready? Okay. So, Gabby? Let's put the, do you mind grabbing the two little microphone cables in the other room? I left them on the table, I'm sorry. So what we're about to do is get these two mics here and hand them to people that are rather smooth with words, the organizers of the Codex Hackathon. You might be interested in this. I'll put this down. Basically, because of your Git hubbiness, shit, where's Gabby? Maybe in 1 minute. I need 2 XLRs. Sorry. Yeah. Basically, what I'm in the middle of is what you might be interested in. So what I'm doing right now is I'm about to do a interview using iOS devices. Oops, iOS devices as actually, do you mind coming with me? Someone doesn't know how to get XLRs. Or do you have to, if you have to go, that's all right. Oh, okay. If you have to run, then this would not be the best use of your time. But basically, we've got a little production chain here where we do everything live and under Creative Commons with sort of workflows and production chains and approval chains that put it into something we call the Open Innovation Gallery. Thought you might like that. And a lot of it's in the form of, great, can you just chuck 2 in there and the other ends into the microphones?
I'll find you. You're law.Harvard or you're law.MIT.edu. Much better. Yeah. Do you know Felipe and Rhino Bird? He was a part of our hackers. He was a Berkman Fellow this last year, doing a video streaming application that Knight funded. But it's all free stuff. So, but yeah, I'll be in touch. I'm Seth-ish.
Okay. Oh, and here's the mics, actually. Thanks, Gabby. What's the name of your thing? Gittenberg. Great. And actually with me here is one of the projects that we want to hear a lot more about. Gittenberg. What's your name again?
Oh, you're looking into the thing.
Yeah.
My name is Seth Woodworth.
Seth Woodworth. Can I have my phone back? Okay. So a lot more to follow on this. All of our workflows are GitHub oriented, and then we backend big releases to archive.org because you know how it is. Things disappear. But so we got all, full version control, we've got archive, and we've got lots of good production chains. So, come hack with us. Everything's UTF-8 encoded, or I can't really touch it, other than you have to blob the. Absolutely putting all the videos in archive. The videos go directly to archive after YouTube. And they're all embedded, and so those go right there. But then all the metadata, like the tags and the URLs and the project information, is all run out of GitHub pages. Yeah, and that's Gabby. So yeah, I'd love to chat with you more about it. What's your name? Hi, I'm Dasa. Oh, thanks. Yeah, we did this for a hack last night to have a music to basically play iOS devices, and then what I realized is, wait a minute, like we're jerry-rigging stuff to chairs, which is known to be like every wedding, that's the thing that gets knocked over first. And so I was like, why can't we do? That's what it was. Yeah, that was like the big idea on Friday was we can do it like this. We don't have to reinvent everything that we couldn't. We were doing a lot with wrestlers' belts and with GoPros, and it wasn't working. This worked like a charm. Like we've been in full production mode since this last night. And then it's like you just clamp. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, so more to follow. So you're seeing the birth of a new generation of personal media. Okay, nice to meet you. Bye now. Thanks. Okay, let's test the mics. So what's happening here now, I'll put right here. There we go. So let's test them, shall we? So you'd speak into one and go test one, test two. Okay, nothing yet. Hold on a minute. Okay, let's try it. Test one.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, beautiful. Another.
1, 2, 3.
Really good. Yeah, quite good.
Awesome.
Okay, can you do it again? Actually, let's boost it a little. Can you get more testing?
1, 2, 3. Testing.
And the other?
1, 2, 3. Testing.
Okay, great. Dynamite.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's get the organizers, I think, and yeah, let's get the organizers. Actually, why don't we figure out who's going to be at what camera? So why don't we have the organizers with these two mics right here? Yeah, okay. So can we show them the Open Innovation Network? Can we show them the workflow? Okay. All right. So what's happening now is we're going to get the organizers, and we are going to finally conduct these interviews. All right. Let's see. I think we're looking for Gene and oh, there they are. Okay. So we're heading through the atrium of the Media Lab. Organizer. Okay. I may be mistaken. Ah, well, here's Gene anyway. We might want to kill this broadcast and come back. Hey, do you know? Have you seen the organizers here, other than Gene? Oh. Oh, thank you. Okay. All right. We'll start with Jenny. I'll go to the left. Okay. Hey, Jenny. We're ready when you are. Okay. And Jenny's not ready. So we might want to go to Gene instead. Actually, were you hacking a project? Do you want to tell us a bit? No? Yeah. Okay, off you go. Let's find some people. We'll find people that were hacking projects then. Until the organizers are ready. Okay. Okay. Do. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Um, where's Jenny? Hmm. Hey, did you happen to notice where where Jean went? She was here a second ago. She's like disappeared, right? Yeah, if you don't mind, thanks. Okay, great. So here's somebody that can be interviewed. I'm just doing a little bit of post-conference kind of wrap up and interview. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you showed? Okay, we're kind of waiting for the organizers, but you had a real good project. So let's do that. Great. So can you tell us what's your name and what was your project?
My name is Ying, and our project was called Hippo Reader. And so Hippo Reader is essentially a way to teach kids how to read using articles that you find online. So it's simplifying complex articles for kids to read.
Awesome. And what's next for the project, and where can people learn more?
What's next for the project? We're not so sure. But the project's up on GitHub, and we have our stuff on Hackdash.
Dynamite. So you may not be aware of this, but as it turns out, we have put the projects from Hackdash into an open innovation network gallery. We call that Hackable Projects Gallery. So I'll send you a link. But if there were people that saw those projects in the Media Lab or in our circles of friends and hackers, and they were interested, could people contribute online or maybe join you on a hangout and hack it virtually? Okay, that would be good. I think people might want to do that. There's a lot of people that were interested in that. And what's next for you? Do you have any other events on the horizon? Any other hackathons or projects coming up?
It's too many to name.
Okay, good. Well, thanks a lot. Great hack.
Yeah, thanks.
Hands across cameras. Thanks. Bye. Okay, Dynamite. So let's see if we can find Gene. And based upon that, we can wrap this up. Well, you know what? I think what we'll do, so because it's taking a bit longer than we thought to kind of get the organizers together, understandable it being the end of the conference, we'll just end this broadcast now, and then we'll be able to do another one to chat with them with a little bit of conference wrap-up and next steps, and to maybe learn more about how the Open Innovation Network and the gallery of projects that you learned about can be advanced in the context of these Codex projects. So until then, we'll see you at law.MIT.edu.